What's something you've seen that you can't unsee? The face of a 12-year-old girl. She and her mom came to my gas station to buy alcohol. Mother was pissed drunk. Girl got some chips. Mother got her booze. Girl apologized 1,000 times before she helped her mom back to the cab. This girl looked like she was on the verge of a mental breakdown. 12 years old. Edit. A lot of people are giving me tips on what I should do. I'm not American, so your laws does not apply to me. I live in a country with heavy alcohol culture. Also, I took a wild guess on her age. She might be younger. Wow, that makes me feel horrible for the girl. I really hope someone helped her. I wouldn't count on it. When I was 8, my mom drove drunk with me to the grocery store. She stumbled out of the car once we arrived. I managed to get her back in, and she passed out. I stood outside of the car for 3 hours before someone even asked if I was okay. Eventually the cops came. Didn't even give her a ticket. My friend's mom picked me up, and my stepdad drove my mom home. She got like 4 DUIs after that. Luckily she never killed anyone, as she has since passed. I work as a peace officer at a hospital in Canada. While I was walking to the emergency department one day, I was approached by a family, father and 2 sons. The father said, "Excuse me, sir. Can you help my wife out of the car?" Calm, collected, nonchalant. I thought this was your run-of-the-mill vehicle extraction, so I nicked to my partner to grab a nurse and a stretcher. The father led me to the vehicle and I could see his wife laying across the back seat. Immediately I thought to myself, shit, she's not feeling well. Definitely gotta help her out of there. When I opened the door, her head snapped back. I guess her head was leaning on the door, and she was staring up at me. Eyes bugged out and wide open, like she saw something terrifying. Startled the shit out of me, and I looked back at the husband. Same relaxed, calm demeanor as when I originally talked to him. I pulled her out of the vehicle and I could tell she already voided, so I'm thinking, shit, already too late. Nurse got on the stretcher and started CPR en route to the trauma room. After speaking with the father, I guessed his wife had become catatonic about 15 minutes prior to arriving at the hospital and had stopped breathing. Instead of calling an ambulance, he decided to drive her there himself. Father claimed no drug use, but patient history showed she was an avid 4th opioid user. Poor family thought she was just medically sick when really she overdosed. Really sad. My sophomore year of high school, my health teacher had an old student of his come in and give a presentation. She works in forensics. I think he thought the presentation would be about what she does at work, how she got there, etc. Instead she showed us photos of bodies her team had recovered. We all sat there horrified. The worst one for me was a week-old body they had found sitting in the Mississippi River. This fucking lady said, "Look how cool the decomposition is on his tattoos." WTF. What did the teacher do? I don't know if he wasn't paying attention, or if he didn't want to be rude and interrupt. But he did absolutely nothing, haha. The class ended with all of us shaky and scarred. Even worse, lunch was next. Hahaha. What a fucking class time. Rotten. Com hosted a picture way back in the day of a guy without a helmet who had fallen off of his motorcycle face first. Everything from his nose down was gone. His tongue was just kind of hanging there. Lower mandible was totally destroyed. He was very much alive, conscious, and looking directly into the camera. His eyes were the worst part. The genuine terror expressed in those eyes is something I will never ever forget. Why would I enter this thread and read this? God damn it. I forgot that image for quite some time and now it's back. Fuck. I remember seeing it. It was jaw-dropping. Kinda like that it compared to the other stuff I'm reading, but at a restaurant I went into the bathroom and a guy was in there just blowing it up. I typically have an iron stomach, but it was borderline dry heat time. After he was done he got up, went, and looked in the mirror, wiped his face off, and proceeded to leave. No flush or hand washing. Stall door was open, so I saw that massacre he calls a shit. It was everywhere but in the toilet. On the way out I saw him just chilling at his table, like he didn't just spread hot tar in there. Shoulder went and got a staff member and told them who did it. As someone who had to clean shit flung all around the bathroom, I really wish I could found the person who did it, and it would made my day. Especially cause they spelled kill niggas with the shit on the walls. I regret not speaking up. That's gucking disgusting. I just don't know why people are what they are sometimes. That video of a dude breaking a glass cup in his asshole and the shard spilling out with bleeding and stuff. The totally unnecessary sequel to 2 girls 1 cup. 1 man 1 jar. True, but 2 girls 1 cup is the worst. I've seen it 2 to 3 times and I always gag. Can't stand it. Meanwhile I can watch 1 man 1 jar even if eating. Meanwhile I can watch 1 man 1 jar even if eating. You were so preoccupied with whether or not you could that you didn't stop to think if you should. 3 guys 1 hammer. Fucking terrible video / human beings. Can someone explain what happens? I don't want to watch it. Mobile phone video of 3 men brutally murdering some poor guy with a hammer. Yeah, and like prying his eyes put with a screwdriver and such. One of the few gore videos that really has haunted me. NSFW posts I found on Reddit expecting porn, but found some only face being trashed from a car accident or something. I saw somebody cutting their dick open with a knife for pleasure. His own dick. The blood. I wish I could unsee. I wish I could unsee your comment tbh. Not as much seen as it was heard, but there's a video of a family driving, and a brick flies off the back of a dump truck and smashes the woman in the front passenger seat in the face, and all you hear are screams from the rest of the family. There was no gore in that video. Just the horrid sounds. I've seen that. It's so awful. My toe hanging off my foot by a blood vein. This made me noticeably shudder. All of these comments are making me noticeably shudder. Should I keep scrolling down? Imma, keep scrolling down. Continue your journey, traveler. My brother passed away at the beginning of the year and his dog was trapped inside the house for 3 days. There was blood everywhere. It was like viscera cleanup but worse. I can't drink that shit away. I took care of the job so our parents would not see the details. I don't wish that scene upon anyone. My uncle blew his head off with a shotgun. Family was too broke to hire people to handle the scene. My other uncle and dad had to clean it up. I can't fucking imagine having to wipe your brother's brain off the wall. Edit. This is my biggest comment by far. I will respond to the comments after I board my flight. Had a neighbor attempt suicide via shotgun. A kind neighbor lady volunteered to help his mom by cleaning up the mess. She brought her 2 under 10 years old grandsons along to help. They described finding chunks of skull and such. Who the fuck makes kids see that shit? As a paramedic I have had to clean up my fair share of suicides. Removing dead bodies and digging chunks of the skull from the ceiling and making sure none of the person was left in the room because routine. You build up a sort of space in your mind where you can go when you have to perform such surreal situations. But they don't always stay there, and you can never get rid of them. Edit. Thanks for all the upvotes. You really know how to make a guy feel appreciated. It means more than I could ever convey. Thank you. Thank you for your service. This is something no one should ever see or deal with. Thank you for being the person that does. A woman's face after it had been ripped off by a chimpanzee. I heard that 911 call not knowing the story. I wish I could unhear it. A dog eating a man entire genitalias while 2 men hold his legs apart. I'm assuming he's dead. No, he was alive. I think it was cartels. I'm not sure if it was the cartels, but I pretty much remember that the guy was a pedophile who raped a child. If that makes it any better is up to you. Some of the cartels just say that they're pedos. Who is going to disagree with them? Polaroid of mom. Beaver hunt style. While going through my dad's penthouse stash at 14 years old. 57 now, still can't unsee it. I saw like a stack of Polaroids of my dad's dick and only realized when I got to the last one. I don't remember the name of the website, but it was about how much you can take starting from level 1 and each page got worse. I stopped when I saw a video of a man cutting off his own penis. This dude one time sent me a photo of his cut up penis. He was shaming himself for having a small dick, and he took a ruler, held it up to his dick, then carved lines all on his penis for every tick mark on the ruler. SRY for not understanding that. But why would he send you that? He was really disturbed. I had fought with him because he bullied me for an eating disorder. Then he came to my work and tried to bring me flowers and take me out, but I rejected him. It was a warped Last ditch effort to show he was sorry, but also to try to take the focus off what he'd done to me and make me feel bad for rejecting him. He was all sorts of fucked up. That's really disturbing and fucked up. Hoping you never have to deal with him anymore. Holy crap. My mother dying of brain cancer in a hospital bed. Death pro tip, people gasp as they die. Loudly. It's about the worst thing you'll ever hear. Don't skimp on heavy doses of morphine when it starts. Yup. Held my dad's hand in the hospital when he passed. It was like a long, maybe 10 to 15 second, felt like much longer, exhale when there already wasn't air in his lungs. And then afterwards his skin was very white and yellow. The discoloration happened so fast. It was awful and traumatizing. But I'm glad he didn't have to be alone. I saw a person having a heart attack or some heart condition. And also saw how quickly his skin color started to change. Although from my memory I think he was turning grayish. Then his pulse returned. Shortly after ambulance that was called came and took him away to hospital. I have a pretty bad anxiety disorder. And my heart does some weird shit sometimes. I've had people tell me they can tell when I'm about to have a panic attack because my skin goes all white grey. If you are new to Tattletale TV, please subscribe. We have new videos every day. Stay tuned for more coming up next.